Everybody, and I need somebody that would be really, that considers themselves a good speaker. Anybody that can speak well?
The goose! The goose!
Jimmy? Jimmy, would you mind? I hear a lot of people calling your name, so I'm just thinking that might be good to do.
We were calling for Mario, actually.
So, what we're going to do is, we're going to have a little reading of Twas the Night Before Christmas. Just, here we go. So, but, and again, yeah, no, hold on a second here. Hold on a second. You're jumping the gun. As with any good reading, you got to play the part, right, Jimmy? You got to be in the part, okay? And this is a story that's told to children the world over. So we're going to start first. You got to get comfortable a little bit, Jimmy. Okay? So there you go. Sit down. Relax.
Okay.
You know, you've been tense. You've had a lot on your shoulders and stuff. It's okay. So, but along with that, you're kind of looking a little chilly there. So, I'm thinking maybe a robe, okay?
I recognize that.
So, there you go. There you go.
Oh, I'm filming, but let me get you.
You look great. Fantastic. You look very relaxed, Jimmy. Good. I'm glad you tucked that across because.
Thank you so much.
So again, it's the holidays. Want to keep sticking with the theme.
Good, thank you.
If you're going to tell a story, you got to have the Yuletide hat, right? Christmas Santa hat. Oh, it's a little small, but it's okay. You're a big thinker. So, hold on.
What?
So, of course, this story is made to be held with a pipe. You must have the pipe in the hand. Okay. So, without further ado, if you wouldn't mind reading for us. Twas the Night Before Christmas, and please don't improvise. Jimmy, just read the story.
Stick to the
Again,
story.
Be serious here. Have a little bit.
Give him the microphone.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Microphone.
He's reading ahead.
No reading ahead, yeah.
Was the nocturnal segment of the diurnal period preceding the annual Yuletide celebration. And throughout our dwelling, not an agitated quadruped was in evidence, including that species of domestic rodent known as mus musculus. Poisory was meticulously suspended from the wood-burning caloric apparatus. Pursuant to our anticipatory pleasure regarding the imminent visitation from a deceased 4th century bishop from Asia Minor, the pre-pubescent siblings, comfortably ensconced in their respective accommodations of repose, while experiencing subconscious hallucinations of variegated fruit confections moving rhythmically through their cerebrum. My conjugal partner, attired in her headscarf, and I, my nocturnal head covering, adjudicated a respite of the cerebellum for protracted slumberous intermission. When upon the avenue-aceous exterior portion of the grounds there ascended such a cacophony of dissonance, I arose with alacrity from my place of repose to ascertain the source of the incongruity. Hastening to the casement with the utmost dispatch, forthwith opened the barriers of the dormer and casement et al., noting the lunar brilliance without, reflected as it was on the surface of the recent crystalline precipitation, might be said to the rival that of the solar meridian itself, thus permitting my credulous optical sensory organs to behold a miniature runnered conveyance drawn by 8 diminutive specimens of the genus Rangifer tarandus, piloted by a minuscule aged chauffeur so ambulant and nimble, in an instant it was apparent to me that he was indeed the deceased saint. More expeditious than a Cipitridae, his herd arrived, and expelling breath musically through contracted labium and vociferated and addressed the octet by his or her respective cognomen. Now dasher, now dancer, and so on and so forth as in a subroutine. He berated them towards the uppermost exterior level of our abode. As an hydra swile before a copious tropical cyclonic storm is propelled, when they meet in an impediment clamber into the upper atmosphere, so upward to the resident peak did the ruminants aviate. With the conveyance abundant with curios and the Yuletide emperor, and then expeditiously I ascertained from the upper parapet the concatenations and gamboling of cloven extremities. After recoiling my cranium and circumnavigating, descending the wood-burning apparatus, Mr. Nicholas sulfated. He was clad entirely in animal pelts, soiled by the ebony residue from oxidations of carboniferous fuels, a plethora of playthings he bore dorsally. And he resembled a street vendor unclosing a commodious cloth receptacle. His ocular organs were scintillated with reflected luminosity. His submaxillary dermal indentations indicated amiability. The capillaries of his malar region and nasal appurtenance were engorged with blood, approximating the aspect of the prunus avia. His amusing sub- and supralabials resembled nothing so much as a common loop knot, and the hirsute facial adornment appeared like flakes of ice crystals. Clenched firmly between his incisors was a smoking piece, whose gray fumes forming a tenuous ellipse about his cranium, suggestive of a decorative seasonal circlet of holly. He was obese in visage and abdomen, the latter undulating when audibly mirthful in a manner impectinated fruit syrup in a hemispherical container. He was obese and jocund, a jubilant multigenarian gnome, whom rendered me visibly frolicsome despite every effort to refrain from so being. By rapidly lowering and then elevating one eyelid and rotating his head slightly to one side, he indicated the trepidation on my part was groundless. Without utterance and with a finger snap, he commenced his employment, replenishing the aforementioned hosiery, then executed an abrupt about-face, placed a single manual digit in lateral juxtaposition to his olfactory organ, inclined his cranium forward in a gesture of leave-taking, and forthwith effected his egress by renegotiating in reverse the smoke passage. He then propelled himself into his conveyance, directed a musical expulsion of air through his labium to the antlered quadrupeds of burden, and proceeded to soar aloft in resemblance to the seed-bearing portions of a common weed. But I overheard his parting exclamation, prior to his vehiculation beyond the limits of visibility. Ecstatic Yuletide in sum, and to that sum a copiously killer period between sunset and dawn.
Spectacular. Thank you, Jimmy. There is no way anybody could have read that, but you. Without question. It would have taken, yeah, it's clearly poetry. Poetry. And you clearly racked and stacked that. So, you're welcome to the hat. You're welcome to the hat. Jimmy, you